Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga, meditation, and Buddhist studies everywhere. Today is Monday, the 30th of November 2015, and I'd like to proceed recording my videos on the Dhammapada Sutra. I'll continue reading my translations of the Dhammapada from verse 116. I believe today we'll be going from 116 to 128, chapter 9. For all those who are watching my videos for the first time, welcome. I'd like to refer you to my website. I have a website where I published all my Dhammapada translations, and that website is actually attached to this video. So all you have to do is just walk up this video, click on it, and then that makes it easy for you to follow us as much as possible. So I'm just going to continue reading my Dhammapada in English. Verse 116. Always be active doing kind and meritorious deeds. Keep your reasoning away from wickedness and crookedness. While a man is negligent in the pursuit of virtue, that is virtuous deeds, the heart takes pleasure in vice, that is vicious deeds. Verse 117, Dhammapada Sutra, spoken by the Buddha originally. If one makes a mistake, if one does wrong, he must stop and avoid proceeding in error. He should not deliberately nurture such bad habits. He should not deliberately nurture such bad habits. Where wrongs multiply, distress results. Just going to take my time, folks. Verse 118, Dhammapada Sutra spoken by the Buddha. If one acts meritoriously, if one acts assuredly right, he must continue and proceed aright. He should deliberately nurture such good habits. Where rights multiply, great joy results. Verse 119. A vicious man obtains virtue while his wicked deeds have not developed and multiplied. For once his wicked deeds ripen and multiply, the vicious man receives grave penalties. Verse 120. A virtuous man obtains vice while his kind and even meritorious deeds have not developed and multiplied. For once his kind, meritorious deeds ripen and multiply, the virtuous man receives pleasant rewards. Continuing my Dhammapada translations, verse 121. Do not consider vicious deeds petty, with no serious or significant results. Water falling in drops, drop after drop, drop after drop, will surely, slowly but surely, fill an entire basin. Little by little, gradually but surely, a stupid fool loads and ruins himself with vice. Verse 122. Do not consider virtuous deeds petty, with no serious or significant results. Water falling in drops, drop after drop, drop after drop, will slowly but surely fill an entire basin. Little by little, gradually but surely, a learned sage loads and preserves himself with virtue. Verse 123, reading my Dhammapada Sutra translations in English language. Like a person keeps away from hazardous materials, cherishing his own existence, like a wealthy business person with few bodyguards keeps away from a deadly route, a man should keep away from vice. Verse 124, Dhammapada Sutra spoken originally by the Buddha. If a man's hand is free from injury, he can touch hazardous materials. If the flesh is healthy without injury, hazardous materials cannot do harm. A man who does no vice gets no vice. I'm just taking my time to proceed to read out my sutras of the Dhammapada translation, which I carried out about over 10 years ago. Reading verse 125. One who does evil to another who has done no evil, a good man, a pious man, without blemish, of impeccable character, disasters and grievous consequences befall such an idiot. Just like small refuse hurled upwards by fools, the filth only falls back on them due to gravity. Verse 126. Quite a few humans are conceived and born again through the uterus of a woman. The vicious proceed to hellfire, while the virtuous proceed to paradise. All who have neither wandering nor imaginary thoughts attain ultimate freedom. Verse 127. In the world, there is nowhere in which one may establish to flee and be elusive to vice. No hideout in the heavens, none at the bottom of the ocean, nor is there a place of refuge in the hollows of rocks and hills. Concluding verse 128, folks. In the world, there is nowhere in which one may establish to flee and be elusive to the ultimate passing away. No hideout in the heavens, none at the bottom of the ocean, nor is there a place of refuge in the hollows of rocks and hills. Folks, this is my Dhammapada translation in English language, which I carried out about over 10 years ago, actually. But with current improvement in technology, we are able to publish them as videos and have you all, my viewers, study them, walk through them at your own pace. These are the Dhammapada Sutras. The Dhammapada, of course, for all those who are watching my videos for the first time, is the wisdom of the Buddha. This is the Buddha's wisdom. You can call it a summary of wisdom of the Buddha, or you can call it the wisdom of the Buddha in a nutshell. The Dhammapada actually just gives you, it shows you all the Tipitakas, the three baskets. The works of the Buddha are very voluminous. They are called the Tripitaka. The Tripitaka are all the sutras of the Buddha. How many can we actually read? I have worked myself. I've worked on Heart Sutra, okay, in English, in Chinese, in Vietnamese, and then translated to Asan language, my mother tongue. I'm originally from Edo State of Nigeria. My parents are from there, although I'm American. I was born in the United States. And I had to do this work in African language as well, Asan language. Heart Sutra, Amita Sutra, and then Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is quite large. The Buddha calls it his crown. The Lotus Sutra is highly respected. It's one of the big sutras. In English, in Chinese, and then trying to translate, of course, into African language, Asan language, which is my mother tongue. So these works can be pretty tasky works, challenging works. I worked on them for well over 10 years, well over a decade. So folks, as you go through these sutras, try to relax your mind. The Buddha is very harmless. The Buddha is one of the, peaceful, loving teachers that we know. He's my greatest teacher, my personal greatest teacher. And of course, as I said, the relationship between Buddha and us is teacher-student. We are students of the Buddha, unlike the other world religions. Other world religions, we can't relate like that with Christ or Muhammad, Allah. Those are gods. They worship them. In the case of Buddhism, the Buddha is a simple professor. He's our teacher. We are his students. The relationship is a teacher-student relationship. This was taught by Grandmaster Ching Kong, who is a very distinguished Buddhist, one of the most distinguished Buddhist authorities today. He lives in Australia. He's a professor of a big professor in the University of Queensland, and highly honored Buddhist monk and great Buddhist personality. So folks, walk through it. Take your time, study my sutras, my translations. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is c.aburime, A-B-U-R-I-M-E, c.aburime@hotmail.com, or Color College, color spelled British, C-O-L-O-U-R, colorcollege@hotmail.com. Enjoy your Monday. Today is the last day of November. Enjoy the rest of the week. Have a pleasant week, folks. Namo Amitofo.